Check, check. Testing, testing.
Right. Good. I'll wait till after.
We are live.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to call the Transportation Corridor Board of Directors, Joint Board meeting of the Board of Directors meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. We will now start with the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be by Director Tony Beal.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Would everybody please rise, put your hand over your heart, and join me in saluting the flag of our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Beal. If you will bow your heads and join me in the invocation. Our Father, we ask for your wisdom today as we discuss and make decisions affecting this agency and the residents of Orange County, as well as the drivers that use our roads. We thank you for protecting the lives of those who were affected by the Laguna Niguel fire. We ask that you continue to protect the lives of Orange County residents. We also pray for the victims of the shooting at the Irvine Taiwanese Presbyterian Church in Laguna Woods. We pray for the congregants as they recover from the tragedy that happened at their church, as well as the city of Laguna Woods as they come together and heal from this tragedy. We pray for peace in our community and that we have the grace to listen to each other. And in this we pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you,
Be
Peggy.
seated. Thank you. And now, Madam Clerk, if you can please take roll.
Chair Will O'Neill. Vice Chair Heft.
I'm here.
I'm also
Director
here.
Connors. Thank you. Director Connors.
I'm here.
Director Hurt.
Here.
Director Minigar.
Present.
Director Reynolds.
Here.
Director Vic Sorick.
Here.
Chair Wong.
I am here.
Vice Chair Miller.
Here.
Director Beal.
Here.
Director Chafee.
Present.
Director Lombard.
Here.
Director Murphy.
Here.
Director Trevor O'Neill.
Here.
Director Voigt.
Here.
Director Bartlett.
Here.
Director Kelly.
Here.
Director Khan.
Here.
Director Penaloza.
Present.
Director Taylor.
Here.
Director Wagner.
Here.
Director Chamberlain.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have quorum on both boards.
Great, thank you very much. Moving on to public comments. Madam Clerk, do we have any written public comments that were received?
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time during live public broadcasting, members of the public may address the joint boards of directors regarding any items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the joint boards of directors, but no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Written public comments received in advance of the meeting will be distributed to the directors. Live public comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person unless the chair, subject to the approval of the boards of directors, set different time limits. Madam Chair, we have received no written public comments and we have no live public commenters at this time.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. As with previous meetings, I ask the directors participating via Zoom to raise their Zoom hand if they have any questions or comments regarding any of the items today. Those participating by phone may press *9 to raise your hand. If you have technical difficulty, please text the clerk and they will let me know. Moving on to the San Joaquin Hills consent calendars, items 1 through 4 and 6 and 8. Do we have any live public commenters regarding the consent calendar?
There are no live public commenters.
All right, thank you. Are there any directors that wish to pull and or discuss any items on the consent calendar? I don't think I see any hands. Okay, with that, the chair will seek a motion for the consent calendar from the San Joaquin Hills Board.
Vice Chair Hess, move it.
Okay, I hear Vice Chair Heft and who made the motion, and I think I heard Director Connors who made the second.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, if you can take a roll call vote.
Chair Will O'Neill,
Aye.
Vice Chair Heft,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Connors,
Aye.
Director Hurd,
Yes.
Director Kelly, Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Minigar,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Yes.
Director Vic-Sorick,
Aye.
Director Wagner,
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Yes.
Madam Chair, the item passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you, directors. Moving on to the Foothill Eastern Board's consent calendar, items 1 through 3, 5, 7, and 8. Do we have any live public commenters regarding the consent calendar for the Foothill Eastern Board?
There are no live public commenters.
All right, thank you. The chair will now ask if any directors have any items they wish to pull or discuss. I don't see any hands raised. The chair seeks the motion for the consent calendar.
Trish Kelly moves the consent calendar.
Murphy,
Okay.
second.
Motion by Director Kelly and seconded by Director Murphy. Madam Clerk, please take roll call vote.
Chair Wong,
Yes.
Vice Chair Miller,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Beal,
Aye.
Director Chafee,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Lombard,
Aye.
Director Murphy,
Aye.
Director Trevor O'Neill,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Yes.
Director Voight,
Yes.
Director Wagner.
Aye.
Madam Chair, the item passes unanimously.
All right, thank you, directors. We will now move on to the board business items number 9 through 13. As a reminder, if anybody wish to participate, please use your raise hand function or press *9. Before we receive the first presentation, staff, do we have any public commenters for item 9, capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2023?
There are no live public commenters.
Okay, thank you very much. This item will be presented by Juliet Sue. Ms. Sue, take it away.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Honorable Directors. I'm Juliet Sue, Director of Design and Construction for the agencies. The item before you is an overview of the draft capital improvement plan, annual update for fiscal year 23. During this presentation, I will provide a summary and describe the planned projects in the fiscal year 23 CIP. Please note that there have been no significant changes from last year's plan. In addition, this item was presented at the Joint Capital Programs and Projects Committee meeting on May 25th, 2022, and the CAP committee unanimously recommended approval of this item by the boards of directors. Next slide. The capital improvement plan reflects the capital project delivery section outlined in the agency's adopted strategic plan. The first priority is to deliver the agency's capital projects as outlined in the CIP, which aligns with the board adopted strategic plan. The other activities outlined in the strategic plan include conducting traffic studies to understand where future projects will be needed, and include applicable research, studies, and pilot programs as components of current and future projects, along with continuing to look for ways to enhance our efficiency and project delivery process. Next slide. The capital improvement plan is updated annually and brought before the boards for review and approval each year. The plan identifies the agency's on-system capital projects being studied and implemented and outlines the project's status, costs, and schedules. Staff also uses periodic traffic studies to help us understand scope and timing of projects on the toll road system. And finally, the CIP aligns with the agency's recently adopted strategic plan. Next slide. The CIP projects are organized into categories. First, current capital projects with completion timeline anticipated by 2030. Next, conceptual capital projects that are anticipated for 2035 or later, and then those capital projects that are completed. On the next few slides, I will go through the first two categories of current and conceptual capital projects. The CIP document contains a detailed list of completed capital projects that will not be reviewed during this presentation. Next slide. On this slide, we show 3 capital projects that are planned for completion by 2035. First, in the upper right-hand corner, is the 24191 Express Connector project on the Foothill Eastern System. This project is in the final design phase, and the design will be substantially completed this year. In 2023, the project will go out to bid for construction with an anticipated opening date of late 2026. Next, on the left side of the slide is the Catalina View improvements on State Route 73 of the San Joaquin Hills system. This project has been identified to provide operational improvements through the mainline toll point. Preliminary engineering was authorized by the board in March of 2022 and is anticipated to take 2 to 3 years to complete. Final design is anticipated to begin in 2024 and the project open to traffic in 2029. Moving to the bottom right-hand corner of the slide is the third project, State Route 241 Loma improvements on the Foothill Eastern System. The project will provide operational improvements for a 6-mile segment of 241 from the 133 to the 261 interchange. Staff is currently evaluating project timing and the restart of the final design phase that was authorized by the board in March of 2020. Next slide. This table shows the prior and proposed expenditures for the current capital projects and reflects the estimated costs for fiscal year 23 through construction by 2030. As noted in the agency's adopted strategic plan, the boards have authorized to fund these projects with cash, and no state, federal, or Measure M dollars will be needed. Next slide. This slide shows capital projects in the conceptual planning stage and anticipated to be completed by 2035 or later. This category is noted as conceptual to reflect the fact that the timing and scope of the projects are not precisely defined at this time. This category also reflects additional on-system improvements, generally median widenings within the existing corridor footprint that are anticipated to be needed in the future as use and studies dictate. Next slide. This table shows the prior and proposed expenditures for these various projects. All future expenditures will be determined when the projects are identified for project delivery and will be brought back to the board for approval and authorization. Next slide. So at this time, the recommendation before the San Joaquin Hills Transportation Corridor Agency Board is to adopt the fiscal year 2023 Capital Improvement Plan for State Route 73. The recommendation is the same for the Foothill Eastern Transportation Corridor Agency Board for State Routes 133, 241, and 261. That concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Directors, anybody with any questions, please use your raise hand function or press *9.
Madam Chair, this is Vice Chair Miller. I'll move the 241 recommendation.
All right, we have a motion made by a Vice Chair Miller,
Second, Director Voigt.
seconded by Director Voigt, and that's for the Foothill Eastern. Do we have a motion from San Joaquin Hills Board?
Vice Chair Heft, I'll go ahead and move it.
Okay, Vice Chair Heft moved for San Joaquin Hills. Do we have a second?
Director Bartlett, second.
Thank you, Director Bartlett seconds the motion. So Madam Clerk, if you can please take roll call vote.
Chair Will O'Neill,
Yes.
Vice Chair Heft,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Connors,
Yes.
Director Hurt,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Minigar,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Director Taylor, Director Vic Sorick,
Aye.
Director Wagner,
Aye.
Director Taylor, Madam Chair, noting the absence of Director Taylor, the item passes unanimously for San Joaquin Hills. Chair Wong,
Yes.
Vice Chair Miller,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Beal,
Aye.
Director Chafee,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Lombard,
Aye.
Director Murphy,
Aye.
Director Trevor O'Neill,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Taylor, Director Voigt, Director Wagner,
Aye.
Director Taylor. Noted, thank you. Director Taylor? Madam Chair, noting the absence of Director Taylor, the item passes unanimously for Foothill Eastern.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the adoption of the annual budgets for items 10 and 11, which will be presented jointly, but will be voted on separately. Staff, do we have any public commenters for items 10 and 11?
There are no live public commenters.
Okay, great. Thank you. So
Madam Chair,
directors, this is the final.
Madam Chair, this is Director
Yes.
Miller. I actually have to get off my phone right now, but Director Vic Sorick is there and as my alternate motion.
Thank you so much. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is the final step in the 3-month process of working with staff to develop the budget for the next fiscal year. I believe we have all vetted the details and reviewed the budget documents that were shared as part of the last workshop, where it was recommended that the boards take action to adopt the budget. The proposed budget meets our fiduciary requirements as well as incorporating our strategic initiatives, with key highlights being moving our 3 capital improvement projects forward and the early pay down of $125 million of debt by Foothill Eastern. As there were no significant issues presented requiring changes, our CFO, Ms. Potter, is going to provide a brief report, and then I will then look for motions from each agency. And I also want to thank everybody for participating in the workshop. Really appreciate all of you giving your input and your time into this process. So Ms. Potter, I will turn this item over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, directors. The item before you is for the approval of the fiscal year 2023 budget for each of the agencies. Information that is included in these budgets was first presented to the various committees in March and April. And as Chair Wong just mentioned, then the entire budget was presented during a workshop at the Joint Operations and Finance Committee meeting on April 27th. The budget was presented again at the Joint Operations and Finance Committee on May 25th. And at that committee, the committee recommended approval of those budgets today. Next slide. And so included in the Foothill Eastern budget, there are total sources of $748.1 million. And on the San Joaquin Hills budget, total sources of $503.8 million, as shown on the slide. Next slide, please. The Foothill Eastern budget includes total expenditures of $144.6 million. And the San Joaquin Hills budget includes total expenditures of $134 million. Next slide. And so the recommendation before you for the San Joaquin Hills Agency is to approve resolution number S 2022-13, entitled A Resolution of the Board of Directors of the San Joaquin Hills Transportation Corridor Agency, approving the budget for fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $134,012,123. And for the Foothill Eastern, the recommendation is to approve resolution number F 2022-13, entitled A Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Foothill Eastern Transportation Corridor Agency, approving the budget for fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $144,585,575. And that concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Ms. Potter. Do we have any questions from our directors or comments? I don't see any hands raised. So with that, I will ask for a motion from the San Joaquin Hills Board.
Director Minigar moves the item.
You know, I apologize. Hold on a second. I see Supervisor Wagner's hand up. Do you have a question?
Thank you, Madam
Supervisor?
Chair. Yeah, sorry to get that hand up a little bit late. I heard you ask for questions. I have no questions, just a quick comment. Maybe two. The first comment is this is a good budget, in my opinion. There's no question about it. Ms. Potter and her staff have done a fantastic job in dealing with our financial institutions, our lending institutions, saving us enormous amounts of money, putting together a budget that is sustainable, that is something for all of us to be proud of. I still intend to vote against it. And I made this point before. I just want to put on the record, I think this is the wrong time, especially. Coming out of COVID was one thing, and this board saw fit to do toll increases despite the ravages of COVID in our community. We're seeing gas prices that are mind-boggling and all caused by government in enormous measure. It's just the wrong time for us to be piling on more government fees. The budget does not depend, and we do not do ourselves any harm, put ourselves in any jeopardy with a 1-year respite from toll increases. Because this budget contains a toll increase, I'm going to be a no. Otherwise, I find it a sound budget, and my vote is not a reflection, I think, on the work of our financial team, which I think has been exemplary. So with that, Madam Chair, that's why I will be voting no.
Thank you, Supervisor Wagner. Any other hands raised that I might miss? Okay, so we have a motion to adopt the budget made by Director Minigar. Do I have a second for San Joaquin Hills?
Director Connors, I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Director Connors. So with that, please take roll call vote.
Chair Will O'Neill,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hest,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Connors,
Yes.
Director Hurt,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Minigar,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Vic Sorick, Director Wagner.
No.
Madam Chair, the item passes 12-1 for San Joaquin Hills.
Okay, thank you. And now for the Foothill Eastern Board, I am seeking a motion on this item.
Trish Kelly moves for Foothill Eastern.
All right, motion by Director Kelly. Do we have a second?
John Taylor, second.
All right, seconded by Director Taylor. Madam Clerk, please take a roll call vote.
Chair Wong,
Yes.
alternate Vic Sorick, Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Beal,
Aye.
Director Chafee,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Kahn,
Yes.
Director Lombard,
Aye.
Director Murphy,
Aye.
Director Trevor O'Neill,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Voight, Director Wagner,
No.
Director Voight. Madam Chair, noting the absence of Director Voight, the item passes 12-1 for Foothill Eastern.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next business item. Staff, do we have any live public commenters for item number 12, selection of website design, development, and management services?
There are no live public commenters.
Okay, thank you. This item will be presented by Lori Olin. Ms. Olin, take it away.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair and honorable directors. My name is Lori Olin, and I serve you and TCA as Director of Internal and External Communications. The agency recently conducted a thorough and competitive procurement for an experienced website provider. I'll provide an overview of the scope of services, procurement results, and the firm that was determined to provide professional services at the best value for the agencies. This item was presented at the May 26th External Affairs Committee, where it earned a unanimous vote for recommendation to the board. Ultimately, on behalf of the committee, I will ask for approval of a time and materials contract with Web Advanced for professional services. Next slide. So here you see the current website. It was launched more than 6 years ago in April 2016. It's managed cohesively by the Communications and Toll Operations Department to ensure a seamless user experience. The Communications Department has primary responsibility for the site's functionality, aesthetic, content, and user journeys. The Toll Operations Department has primary responsibility for server hosting, technical support, internal troubleshooting, and the secure domains functionality. Ensuring the operation and functionality of the website is important, and investments in the website have resulted in account growth and mitigated cost impacts to customer service by offsetting call volumes. The website is also important to accomplishing the goals, objectives, and activities detailed in the board's recently adopted strategic plan. Next slide. The website is an essential tool for toll collection and operation of the agencies as required by law. It's technically complex, and it integrates with other tools that support live public broadcasts like this and customer service functions that are critical to the agencies. Additionally, features must also comply with all applicable regulations. The website is used to open a new Fast Track account, manage an existing Fast Track account, pay tolls without an account, and resolve violations. Providing an easy user experience helps manage the workload and costs associated with our customer service contracts. For example, as noted on the agency's customer service snapshot, nearly 60% of all account management functions are performed by the account holder using the website. That's more drivers helping themselves using the website than those who speak with a customer service representative, use our app, or dial into the automated phone system combined. So it's also the online location for access and information about the agencies, including driver education, public meetings and materials, finance and investor information, publications and press releases, capital projects and environmental programs, and information about doing business with the agencies. Next slide. The website has, on average, more than 133,000 daily page views, with 65% of visitors viewing it on a mobile device. We average 13,000 monthly account signups via the website. That's 54% of all signups. 200,000 self-performed fast track account updates are performed monthly using the website. Again, that's 60% of all updates, and that's potentially 200,000 calls that the call center doesn't have to manage or take. A customer service representative doesn't have to speak with that customer. And 700,000 online toll payments per month. That's 80% of all toll payments are made through the website. Next slide. So to augment our small in-house staff, we depend on the services of a website partner to provide technical expertise and ensure the public portion of the site is functioning properly at all times. With the current contract expiring, staff initiated a competitive 5-month procurement to award a contract for website design, development, and management services. Next slide. Here you see some of the services to be provided by the website partner. This week, we began using a new content management system that was selected by staff because support for our current CMS was expiring. Content Management System, or CMS, is the software platform that allows for the management of website content. We need a website partner with solid expertise using our new CMS. We also require a provider to ensure digital security of all information and data, including the personally identifiable information of our drivers and account holders. And because we are a public agency and in the tolling industry, our provider must understand and fully support compliance with all local, state, federal, and international regulations. For example, people of all abilities and differences need to be able to use our website much in the same way. We also require that our partner commit to responding to all website issues. For example, if the website were unavailable to users, within 4 hours during regular business hours, and within 24 hours during non-business hours, weekends, and holidays. Along with maintenance and management of the existing website and per the strategic plan, the contract would include funding for a website redesign during the base term or the option years, so at some point in the next 5 years. The strategic plan includes a rebranding of TCA with a redesigned website to convey excellent customer service, industry thought leadership, a focus on innovation, and the agency's critical importance to the region's mobility. The current website design is more than 6 years old. Its design structure can only go so far, and it doesn't take advantage of the latest advancements. For example, the site's user experience has not been refreshed since the sticker transponder and account simplification project, which was a significant overhaul in our account and tolling technology offerings. And finally, as I mentioned before, 65% of our audience use the site on a mobile device, like a tablet or a phone. The current website was not designed for optimal mobile viewing experience. It was designed with desktop viewers as a primary audience. Next slide. So about this procurement, the RFP was released on December 13th, 2021. We had 9 firms submit responsive proposals, and 4 of those firms were shortlisted and interviewed by the evaluation team. A 5-member panel comprised of staff from the toll operations, information technology, and communications departments independently evaluated and ranked the proposals using a best value for professional services process. Principal evaluation factors included the firm's relevant experience, demonstrated competence, the recommendations that they made for actually improving the tollroads.com as it exists today, their corporate structure and staffing, cost effectiveness, and ease of administration. Next slide. Based on written proposals and the presentations by those 4 shortlisted firms, the evaluation panel unanimously concluded that WebAdvanced has the most experience maintaining, managing, and designing websites similar in scope, functionality, and user base to the tollroads.com. WebAdvanced skills, knowledge, and experience made them the clear choice as the firm that could provide the best value to the agencies and to our customers. Various factors are considered in the Best Value Award for professional services. Award is recommended to the firm offering the most comprehensive overall proposal, considering such factors as prior experience with similar projects, staffing, project organization, work plan, as well as cost and price. Web Advanced pricing is in the fair and reasonable range for the industry, and a contract would secure rates for the 3-year base term pending board approval. Next slide. So Web Advance is an award-winning digital agency headquartered in Orange County. They have 22 years of experience building immersive and complex data-driven websites and they are the leading digital agency for Southern California transportation agencies. Next slide. As the incumbent, Web Advance has the proven ability to maintain, manage, and enhance our website. They have a vast knowledge of accessibility and personally identifiable information standards that apply to our agencies. And their forward-thinking yet practical approach to user experience enhancements would be a true asset to TCA. Following discussion and analysis after the May External Affairs Committee meeting, staff determined the costs associated with the contract should be split equally by the agencies. The committee has voted unanimously to recommend the board approve a time and materials contract with Web Advance for professional services. Next slide. So for San Joaquin, the committee recommends a contract with Web Advance for a 3-year term in an amount not to exceed $263,000 with 2 1-year extension options plus 10% contingency, and to authorize the CEO to reallocate the not to exceed costs as determined annually based on reasonable assumptions and methodologies. Next slide. For Foothill Eastern, the committee recommends a contract with Web Advance for a 3-year term in an amount not to exceed $263,000 with 2 1-year extension options plus 10% contingency, and to authorize the CEO to reallocate the not to exceed costs as determined annually based on reasonable assumptions and methodology. That concludes my presentation. I thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Lori. Any directors with any questions or comments for staff? Let's see. I don't see any hands raised. So the chair seeks a motion from the San Joaquin Hills for this item. No one from San Joaquin Hills like this item.
Reynolds, I'll move the recommendation.
Trish Kelly, second.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Director Reynolds, for making the motion, and seconded by Director Kelly. Please take the roll call vote.
Chair Will O'Neill. Vice Chair Hess.
Aye.
Director Bartlett.
Yes.
Director Connors.
Yes.
Director Hurt.
Yes.
Director Kelly.
Yes.
Director Khan.
Yes.
Director Minigar.
Aye.
Director Penaloza.
Yes.
Director Reynolds.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Aye.
Director Vic-Sorick.
Aye.
Director Wagner.
Aye.
Chair Will O'Neill. Madam Chair, noting the absence of Chair Will O'Neill, the item passes unanimously for San Joaquin Hill.
Thank you. And moving on to Foothill Eastern, the chair seeks a motion to adopt this item.
John Taylor will make that motion.
All right, motion by Director Taylor.
Murphy, second.
And seconded by Director Murphy. Please take roll call vote.
Chair Wong.
Yes.
Alternate Vic-Sorick.
Aye.
Director Bartlett.
Yes.
Director Beal.
Aye.
Director Chafee.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Lombard,
Aye.
Director Murphy,
Aye.
Director Trevor O'Neill,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Voice, Director Wagner,
Aye.
Director Voice. Madam Chair, noting the absence of Director Voice, the item passes unanimously for Foothill Eastern.
All right, thank you. Our last discussion item for today is business item number 13, monthly state and federal legislative updates. Staff, do we have any live public commenters for this item?
There are no live public commenters.
All right, thank you. This item will be presented by David Matza. Mr. Matza.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, directors. David Motson, I serve as your Deputy Director for Government Relations. Today, I will provide an update on state matters, which was previously presented to the Joint External Affairs Committee on May 26th, with the item being approved unanimously. Next slide, please. For the Sacramento update, I will be sharing the current status of multiple bills that the agencies have been closely following, including AB 2594, which the boards have taken an opposed unless amended position on, AB 2270 by Kelly Ciarto, AB 2949 by Assemblymember Lee, AB 1944 by Assemblymember Lee and Garcia, which the boards have taken a support with amendment position, and SB 1224 by Senator Bates. Next slide, please. AB 2594, as previously discussed and as originally proposed, would have had significant impacts to the agency's operations as it relates to payment plans, toll enforcement, and other customer service items. And this bill has passed the Assembly and is moving on to the State Senate, with a hearing taking place in the Senate Transportation Committee by the end of this month. There has been an ongoing collaborative effort with the other 12 tolling agencies throughout the state, the author's office, and other interested parties to make changes to this piece of legislation. While some outstanding items remain, there have been significant changes to this legislation for the better. The author's office has been extremely grateful for TCA's leadership as well as the other 12 tolling agencies and agree that the bill has been significantly improved. Some outstanding items that need to be finalized include setting a threshold amount for payment plans and what constitutes lower income as it relates to paying fines related to tolls. As conversations have progressed, the author has requested that the agencies change our position from opposed unless amended to neutral, but until TCA staff sees a final product that solidifies the progress on this bill, as well as incorporates the feedback from the other 12 tolling agencies, a position change by staff is not recommended at this time. Next slide, please. Currently, a timing conflict exists between the board's schedule and hearing schedule for 2594 if a position change is eventually deemed warranted. Due to this timing conflict, it may be difficult for the boards to change the agency's position on this legislation with the current practice that we utilize for taking positions or changing positions on legislation. In the Joint External Affairs Committee, it was discussed to possibly take a one-time deviation from our normal protocol to allow our chairs to provide a letter to the author stating a revised position if staff feels that the final text is acceptable to the agencies. Before I move on to the next pieces of legislation, I want to highlight the success of this effort from the start to where we are today. When this began, we had two goals in mind: to mitigate negative impacts to how the agencies operate and our successful customer service policies, and to clean up issues with current privacy laws that have impacted all tolling agencies throughout the state. The second goal was not possible this year due to 3 of our partner agencies engaged in litigation related to the matter, but the author has given us commitment to look at this again later. As for the first goal, we were extremely successful in addressing the impacts of this legislation, and in the process, bringing our partner agencies in alignment with TCA's current successful customer service practices related to first-time waivers, payment plans, convenience when paying tolls, and getting transponders, among other items. The author gave recognition to many of TCA's policies, and the legislation, once in print, again, will bring the rest of the state up to our standard. Next slide, please. The next bill I'll be discussing is AB 2270 by Kelly Ciarto, which would require the owner or operator of a toll facility to engage with a local emergency service provider to enter an agreement for the use of a toll facility and responding to and returning from emergencies. As discussed during the Joint External Affairs Committee, TCA currently does have this practice, and these agreements help reduce staff time and costs by taking away the need to individually assess each vehicle under this category. This TCA practice also benefits public safety agencies as it reduces administrative cost and staff time for these agencies in going through tolls that they've used when going to and from emergencies. TCA currently has many agreements with various public safety agencies. This bill has passed the Assembly and will be heading to the Senate Transportation Committee sometime in June. TCA has submitted revised language to protect our current policies and ensure that any terms of an agreement are mutually beneficial. And if, despite a good faith effort, we are unable to reach an agreement for whatever reason, TCA is still in compliance with the statute. TCA is currently in conversations with the author's office and the Senate Transportation Committee on making these changes happen. We have also engaged with CAL FIRE, where the bill is focused on assisting as they have had a large administrative workload from addressing tolls throughout the state as they've been addressing various wildfires. Next slide, please. Next bill we'll be discussing is AB 2949, which would exempt vehicles registered to certain veteran classifications who are displaying a specialized veteran's license plate from payment of a toll or related fines on certain toll facilities. This bill continues to make its way quickly through the legislature as it passed the Assembly last month and will be heard in the Senate Transportation Committee later this month. There's a provision of this bill that allows for agencies to potentially be reimbursed by the Commission on State Mandates for any cost in implementing or maintaining this discount. To help set up the system more easily and to better identify violators of this exemption, TCA and staff and our legislative advocates propose language that for those who would like to use this benefit must set up a fast track account. And fortunately, this was accepted by the author. Next slide, please. The next bill we'll be discussing, AB 1944, which the boards have previously taken a support with amendments position on and is related to the Brown Act, would allow members of local public agencies to teleconference from a remote location without making the address of that location public. This bill would require the disclosure of members planning to teleconference, as well as require agencies using teleconferencing to allow members of the public to participate by telephone or video conference. This bill has passed the Assembly and will be heard in the Senate Rules Committee later this month. Staff and our Sacramento advocates had identified some concerns with previous amendments to the legislation related to attendance and notification to the public of who will be participating virtually, but this language has been changed to just require in-person quorum. Discussions with the author are continuing as issues related to minor changes to an agenda and other technical aspects that need to be looked at, but it looks like these will be addressed as well. Next slide, please. The last bill I'll be discussing today is SB 1224 by Senator Bates, which would authorize the Wildlife Conservation Board upon an appropriation by the legislator to make grants to acquire fee title or conservation easements or to perform restoration or a combination thereof in watersheds with habitats for sensitive wildlife populations in specified regions in the counties of Orange and San Diego. This bill originally appropriated $37 million for this effort, but that was amended in the Senate Appropriations Committee. No other changes have been made, and this legislation, as stated here, is still in line with the agency's adopted strategic plan. Next slide, please. There will be two recommendations as to from the committee today. First, for San Joaquin Hills, is to receive and file the May state and federal legislative updates. And number two is discussion and possible action related to bills discussed therein. And for Foothill Eastern, again, receive and file May state and federal legislative updates and discussion and possible action related to bills discussed therein. And with that, that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Right, thank you, Mr. Matza. Before we take any questions or comments, I want to exercise the chair's discretion and privilege to reopen the item number 12 so that we can record a vote from Director Voigt. So, Madam Clerk, if you could possibly do that for us.
Director Voigt?
Director
You may be on mute.
I think he's having technical difficulties, so we'll let's just keep that open until he's able to rejoin us, and so we can record his vote. So
Thank
with
you.
that, I see, thank you, and I see Director Kelly's hand up for item number 13.
Yes, thank you. That was a really good report. And I'm glad to see that that you have put on the table the ability to have the board chairs to send a letter if needed on legislation. And we're right now looking at the Ting bill. But I know in the past, we have seen very last minute gut and amend, where an entire bill was gutted and amended, and if not caught at the very last minute by our staff and our consultants, could have gone through, and actually in some cases have gone through. But I totally support the ability of the chairs to be able to be flexible and to respond quickly, because if we're bound by having to do it at meetings, that's too cumbersome and takes too much time. So I think that's one of the reasons why we have a legislative platform, is so that we do have that to stand on and to be able to react to changes and situations that come up. So I'm glad to see that was brought up today. And I will move this board recommendation for San Joaquin Hills.
Thank you, Director Kelly. Do we have any more hands up? Okay, I don't see any other hands up. Do I have a second for San Joaquin Hills for the motion to adopt item number 13?
Wagner, second.
Okay, seconded by Director Wagner. Please take roll call vote.
Chair Will O'Neill, Vice Chair Heft,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Connors,
yes,
Director Hertz,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Minigar,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Vic Sorick,
Aye.
Director Wagner.
Aye.
Madam Chair, noting the absence of Chair Will O'Neill, the item passes unanimously for San Joaquin Hills.
Okay, for the Foothill Eastern Board, the chair seeks a motion on this item.
On behalf of Lake Forest, Director Voigt from Lake Forest is.
All right,
Wagner,
motion
second.
by Director Voigt, seconded by Director Wagner. I see Director Kelly's hand up. Director Kelly, do you have questions or comments? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. I wanted to ask council if we actually, or Mr. Johnson, do we actually need a motion in order to allow the chairs to send those letters?
Thank you for the question, Director. Yes, my understanding in talking with council, to be consistent with your previous actions, we would need a motion and approval from the board for the chairs to be able to submit a letter once we see that the issues we had with Senator Ting or Assemblymember Ting's bill are addressed. So we would need that motion and a vote.
Okay, at the conclusion of this motion and vote, I will be making that motion, but we're in the middle of a vote now, or an item now, so I'll bring it up when this one is concluded.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll do that. So for right now, let's take a vote for Foothill Eastern on item number 13. Madam Clerk?
Chair Wong,
Yes.
alternate Vic Sorick,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Beal,
Aye.
Director Chafee,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Lombard,
Aye.
Director Murphy,
Aye.
Director Trevor O'Neill,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Voice, Director Wagner,
Aye.
Director Voice,
Yes.
Madam Chair, this item passes unanimously for Foothill Eastern.
Great, thank you. And turning it over to Director Kelly, do you wish to make your motion at this time for both boards?
Yes, I move that we adopt a policy for this, in particular, this Ting bill, that the chairs will be able to send a letter on behalf of the agencies if needed in between meetings to be able to respond quickly.
Thank you. And the chair will seek a second for San Joaquin Hills Board and Foothill Eastern Transportation Board on this item, on this motion to allow the chair to submit a letter specifically on Ting's bill.
This is Cynthia. I move on behalf of San Joaquin Hills.
Seconded by Director Connors. Do we have a second for Foothill Eastern? I will
Wagner,
second.
second.
Oh, all right, thank you, Director Wagner. So we have motion and a second for both boards. Madam Clerk, please take roll call vote.
Chair Will O'Neill, Vice Chair Hest,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Connors,
Yes.
Director Hertz,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Minigar,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes. And I'm going to need to jump off now. I apologize. Thank you.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Vic Sorick,
Aye.
Director Wagner.
Aye.
Madam Chair, noting the absence of Chair Will O'Neill, the item passes unanimously for San Joaquin Hills. Chair Wong,
Yes.
alternate Vic Sorick,
Aye.
Director Bartlett,
Yes.
Director Beal,
Aye.
Director Chafee,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Khan,
Yes.
Director Lombard,
Aye.
Director Murphy,
Aye.
Director Trevor O'Neill,
Aye.
Director Penaloza,
Yes.
Director Taylor,
Aye.
Director Voight,
Yes.
Director Wagner.
Aye.
Madam Chair, this item passes unanimously for Foothill Eastern.
Thank you, directors. Moving on to our next item, which is the Chief Executive Officer's report. Mr. Johnson?
Hi, thank you, Madam Chair. A few items of information for the boards. So last week, the City of Laguna Hills Memorial Day Half Marathon took place, honoring the United States Marine Corps Dark Horse Battalion. The San Joaquin Hills Board sponsored tolls at the Aliso Creek on-ramp to the 73 to provide a free detour for Aliso Viejo residents impacted by the race. So this race, especially now coming out of back out of the pandemic, is resuming its place as something of a tradition in Southern California. And we actually had 560 drivers use our route to navigate around runners. So that was a good event. 1 week from today, the Orange County branch of the American Council of Engineering Companies will name the Oso Parkway Bridge project the 2022 Project of the Year at their annual awards dinner. The award honors an outstanding and innovative transportation project or service that improves the quality of life for its users and community. We are extremely proud to see this project continue to receive recognition just as proud as we are of the successful partnerships that led to the project's completion. Also, yesterday, I had the opportunity to virtually participate in AutoTech Detroit at the invitation of one of the event sponsors, SiriusXM. You may recall during your strategic planning workshop, we highlighted them as a partner that we were working with to leverage the connected vehicle technologies and provide drivers and customers another form or another avenue to pay their tolls. So the conference is a pretty big conference. There were lots of people there. That's my understanding because I was only virtual, but the conference brings together the full automotive technology industry to immerse attendees in the future of the automotive industry by showcasing the newest technology and the latest vehicles. So I was part of a keynote fireside chat with a representative from the Michigan Department of Transportation. And we got to talk about technology, where transportation needs to go with sustainable funding, and how the technology can support not only that, but our other initiatives that were highlighted in that are highlighted in your strategic plan, and being able to affect our environmental goals, and also to figure out how we can get more throughput out of an existing footprint without having to continue to expand roads. So it was a good discussion, although brief. So it was great to be invited and help educate all the attendees on where we are in transportation and how their sector plays a role in it. Then my last item is just information for the board in terms of your hybrid meetings. After a lot of discussion with the leadership, starting in July with a new fiscal year, all committee meetings will be virtual. And so we appreciate your continued participation through that avenue. And then your board meetings, and I think the first board meeting in July is July 14th. Those will be hybrid. So board members have the option of coming on site. We just ask you to please coordinate with the clerk so we can plan accordingly. And that concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I have no report. Director Menegar.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Because of the coastal fire in Laguna Niguel last month, I need to abstain from my vote with regard to the consent calendar item. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And do we still have Director Voits on so we can record his vote on the website? I don't see him on the call. Okay, and Director O'Neill had to leave early, so if there are no other hands raised, I will now adjourn this meeting to the next regularly scheduled meeting of the San Joaquin Hills Transportation Board, as well as Foothill Eastern Transportation Corridor Agency Board of Directors, which will be held on Thursday, July 14th at 9:30 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, directors.